Hey guys, Vern's here again with another round review. So, 24-63, pretty big round 2 score, felt pretty good. Only 2,803 in the round, but pushes me to a season rank of 23-52. So that looks pretty good to me. I know I said I'm going to be in the top 2,000 after this week. Didn't quite push it there, but honestly super happy with the team. I have a great consistent team. Yes, a lot of the mid prices went nutty this week, and having them would have felt great. But I'm really happy with my picks, and I think I still picked the best players in their roles by the season end. So look, as the weeks go on, those players, those are coaches that did pick these mid prices, I think will fall back a bit and we should get ahead of them, but they definitely are feeling good after those first few weeks. But yeah, 23-52, not a bad rank. Over 2,400, looking good. Over 4,800 in total, so over a 2,400 average. A lot of players going big, so everyone has quite big scores for the start of the season, and it's feeling really good. But yeah, let's jump into it. Let's start off with our backline here. Now, we're going to see, as we remember, our main man, Hall, in that backline, did fantastic. 123, looked good, had a great halftime score sitting at about 70, so just cruises through to a nice 123. That's what you love to see. Your player sitting at a nice high halftime score, and then they can just cruise through to something that you like. Yes, obviously you want them to go massive, but, as long as they sort of satisfy that quota that, they're at least going to get, a bare minimum, looks amazing. Crisp, 121, really bounced back. All those people that traded them out are going to feel really hard done now because he looked great. Second half, actually not that hot shot, only 75 points by the half, at half, and then only actually picked up 46 there to finish it off in the second half. But look, honestly, looked much better, and as long as he can keep that sort of performance up, we'll be very happy with him. Obviously not to that level. If he drops it back a few points, that's fine. Not a big deal. He's durable. He's going to play. Feels good. Jordan Dawson, 99. Oh, feeling really weird again about that one. Started off in the mid and just wasn't scoring well again. I think about 30 at halftime again. He then floated behind the ball sort of in the second half, and that's when he really racked up his points again. Got to 99, so about a 61-point second half there. 2 weeks in a row, he's tried to start off in the mid. It hasn't gone well. He floats behind the ball, and then he gets a lot of points in the second half. So, look, if he can actually spend more time behind that ball, I know they recruited him to be a midfielder, but he's looking much better in defense, at least for us super coaches. But even as an AFL player, he's just looking way too good in that defense line. And I get it. You want to put him in there. You want to get him experience and really build him up. So I don't mind them putting him in there. But, to bail out of it halfway through a game, just be like, you know what, it's not working, we'll put you back. 2 weeks in a row. Try to put him in there, it's not working, put him back. I don't know, if you're going to be playing him as a midfielder, play him as a midfielder. If he's going to be a dud, then he's going to be a dud. And if you're going to float him behind the ball, then just keep him behind there if it's not working. I get it, they're trying to give him more opportunity, but look, not bad scores, and we'll take that so far. Not a bad opener. Jaden Short, massive score. Massive score again. The man just gets so many kicks consistently. They just love feeding him the ball. He gets every kick out, and just honestly, a huge score from him again. Looking like a great starting pick. Hinged, had a great score, 81. Played up on that wing, and also floated into defense. So he started off sort of behind the ball, and then floated up into that wing as well. So yeah, did really well. Paddy McCartan, great score again. Buddy kicked his thousands. Wow, congratulations. That was crazy. Watching that, when everyone flooded the field, that was insane. Like, I think as the commentator said, I don't know if we're ever going to see that again. Like, that was nuts. Like, I love the sky view of just sort of watching the ants coming around him. It was insane. But yeah, Paddy McCartan, good game. 80 points, we take that. Gibkiss, slow burn, 48. Did what he needs to do. We'll take it. Jumping into the midfield, McRae. Just doing McRae things. 142, looking good. Miller, 140. Miller was actually a bit of a scary one. I only really saw the second half of this game, and he had like 86 points by the half, so he was looking fantastic early. And then in the last 2 quarters I watched, Miller didn't really touch the ball. Not till like the very end of the game. He got a few junk time points, but he didn't really touch it in those last 2 quarters for what I saw. It was kind of scary. I was thinking, man, is he going to score at all? He got a huge bloody boost on him. He was on a 122. And then went to bloody 140 after the game, so scaling massively in his favour. But there, man of the hour, Lockie Neale. 198. Yes, look, I haven't touched my team. This is fresh. This is as soon as it sort of come out. 198. Insane. Had the captain on him as well, so that was massive. Huge shout out to JD. JD was really pointing out, Neale's scoring history against them and against Essendon. I mean, the last 3 games, I think 140, then 157, 157, and he did that in a year where he was really underperforming. So it felt like 140 was almost a floor for him. So took the risk, put it on Neale. I originally had it on Took because he's also had some good history against Melbourne. But yeah, ended up paying off in spades. A whole extra almost 60 points there because of that. So awesome. Thanks, JD. Pat Lip took a bit of a step back. Not as great as last week. Honestly, he just didn't look as great as last week. Didn't look like he was getting as much as the ball. He was starting a lot off the forward, though. Coming from half forward and getting involved. So there's a good chance that, honestly, that DPP, it is a possibility. I know a lot of people were talking about it, but he did it a lot this week. I feel like I saw him starting off the forward line a lot, and then running into the mid. So, look, if he ends up getting that forward line DPP, awesome. I think he's a keeper. So, huge value there. But yeah, didn't look as good in this game. But Collingwood in general just looked better. So, that might be one of those things where when the team's playing well around you, then you don't have to score as many points or do as much. So, yeah, we'll take that. 86, still not a bad score. Still a cash cow as a worst case scenario. Rao, 71, tagged Oliver as to why he wasn't really involved as much. Had a huge first quarter. And then second half wasn't too bad. And then once again, just like Took didn't really do too much in the final half. Yeah, bit of scaling really helped him out there, honestly, because he didn't really do too much. Barry, 76, huge bounce back. I know we got the 69 last week, so it's not really that much of a score difference, maybe 67, whatever it was. But it was more of a consistent score. He was, 30 points at the half and then finished off on the 76, so pretty consistent 2 halves. Honestly, I think at the end of the day with Barry, we would like to see a bit more consistency in him. At the same time, he is made of glass and we kind of want him out of our team ASAP, so I'd much rather, see those low lows and those high highs. I'd love to see like a 130 game. If he drops a 40 after that, that's fine. We're going to get him out of our team quickly because he's not going to last a full season. He's not even probably going to last half a season. We need to get this man out of our team ASAP, so he's got to make cash quick. But yeah, Dacos, 53. Once again, also didn't look as good. Dacos actually had a pretty awful game in my opinion. I don't know if you all watched that game, but Dacos, I talked about him last week, just making great decisions and really hitting the players when he made those good decisions. I don't know what happened this week, but every kick he did, he just managed to get through traffic, looked awesome with the ball, and then he'd put the ball in his boot and he would hit one out Crows player by himself, dead in the middle, like an absolute beautiful kick. If this was a Collingwood player, amazing, beautiful. But it was a Crows player, and he did it maybe 4 times or so. Just great little play off the halfback, and then looks like a beautiful sharp kick straight to a Crows player by himself. And I was like, what? So look, a bit of a bad game from him, but look, that happens with rookies at the end of the day. They haven't been in the system very long, and they are prone to that. It's like I forgot the word I'm looking for, but the variability. Oh, that doesn't sound right. But they're very volatile. They're up and down scoring wise. So that happens. Bit of an off game by him. I reckon his disposal efficiency wouldn't have been very good. But you know what? He still got the 53. He's still got a good break even. He's still going to make us some great money. Owens was my loop here. I had Stevens on the field. You guys can't see that, but he dropped the 95. I'll flick on the field for us now. There he is, 95. Stevens also looked fantastic in that Swans game. They really ran over Geelong. Yeah, Owens was my loop there. Kept him on as soon as I saw that Stevens score. Because, yeah, 95 points from a rookie. You bank that every day of the week. Ward picked up a 53, same as Dacos. Looked a lot better. So, we'll take that. McDonald, 55. He'll be a good cash cow. And then Owens, we're going to flip that boy out this week. Rucks. So, Marshall didn't look very good. Reason I'm starting with him is because, let's be honest, Grundy did Grundy things. He actually gave a lot of his time in the ruck to Kruger. Kruger just kept popping up in the ruck every now and again. And then, obviously, when he came off, Darcy Cameron sort of finished it off. I think Grundy had a great first half, and then Kruger sort of took over the third quarter for the rucking for him. I think they were saving Grundy for the final quarter to make sure we had that gas to run through the finish line. But didn't actually need it. It was, we ended up having quite a healthy lead. Grundy started off the fourth quarter rucking. Kruger went out injured, and then Darcy Cameron came in and I guess finished the game off rucking. So, 101, we'll take that. Solid score. Not bad still. But yeah, Marshall didn't look very good. I don't know. He fumbled a few marks that really could have helped. But also Hayes took a fair bit of his ruck time away, I felt. He did plunk himself forward a bit. And we all know Ryder really plays a big score, really big factor on Marshall's scoring. Sort of felt like Hayes did that this week. I mean, week 1, it felt like Hayes was great in the forward. Rowan did most of the rucking. This week, it felt like Marshall didn't actually do as much of the rucking, and Hayes did a bit more, which then aided to a bit of Rowan's score. Yeah, I don't know. Didn't look too great on the ground either. Didn't really get too involved outside of that. I think only had the 9 disposals outside of his hit-outs, so wasn't great. But he was going up against Meek and Darcy, who looked pretty good in the ruck. They're both big, solid boys, and Marshall is a lot more skinnier. He needs to be able to get up over them because they're so solid. Yes, they're going to have the strength to body him out when they're getting those standing still contests, but he should be able to get up and get over them when the ball's actually getting thrown in, sort of thing. Especially in the center bounces, you're not being physical in those. Obviously, when it's a throw in from the side or a ball up, that's when you're being physical. You don't really get the run up. That's when Meek and Darcy are going to be able to push you out with their body. But center bounces, he should have really been winning those a lot more. Saying that, at the end of the day, there wasn't that many goals kicked. It was a very low scoring game, and both teams sucked accuracy wise. So maybe if there was a few more goals kicked, a few more center bounces, he could have thrived a bit more. But yeah, not too bad, honestly. We get over that. Oh well. Dunkley, 97. He was our VC, so VC. I talked about it last week. I wanted to play big. I wanted to put in Dunkley because I feel like he's got the higher ceiling than McRae, even though he might have the lower average at the end of the day. Didn't do well, but that's fine. That's kind of what you want. You want the low variance in that VC score. At the end of the day, if you had McRae VC, there's no way you don't take that VC. Which, that's awesome. But if say McRae ended up getting a 122, then it ends up really awkward where it's like, well, it's still a good VC score, but what if I put it on someone else that could go bigger, and then you put it on a Steele and he gets a 111, and then you feel a bit bad, but you put it on a Neale and you really cash it in. So yeah, VC captain score ended up being massive for me this week. As I said. But yeah, I think putting on Dunkley wasn't a bad play. I think maybe I should have gone the VC on Neale and then Miller. That might have been the smarter play considering how good those two have looked into their opponents in history. But yeah, Butters looked awesome, 136. His team got dominated. I actually didn't see this game myself. I was driving home from Bendigo seeing my grandparents. But I did see the score, I think when we stopped at one point, and he was on 88 at halftime. Insane. But Port were getting dominated by Hawks. And Hawks players didn't even have good scores. All of them had really average, subpar scores. And then you look at Port's side and they got Boak on a 156, Butters on 136, Amon's on 130, and all the Hawks players is maybe maxing out at 90 or something. And I think that's how it finished off at the end of the day. So crazy. It looks like the superstars from Port really dominated the ball, but it looked like Hawthorn, when they got their opportunities, really took advantage of it on the scoreboard. Saying that the Port players, once you get lower down that list, a lot of them had very bad scores. So clearly their good players played well and their bad players played shit, and Hawthorn just ran over that. It wasn't. Tell me how the game went down below at the end of the day, because I didn't see it. So that's just my assumption as to what probably happened. Caniglio, 99. We'll take that in a loss as well, but good cash cow. Will he still be a keeper? Yeah, I still think he could be a keeper. 90-point average isn't bad. Worst case scenario, we flip him at the buys or something, but no, he's going to be in our team for a long time, assuming he doesn't get injured. McGovern, kind of a terrible game. I didn't see this game either. I had basketball Thursday night again, just like last week, so I missed most of the game. I saw the second half, and I didn't see McGovern. I got to be honest, I didn't see McGovern, so I don't know what of the ball he got, but clearly it wasn't much. Brody, awesome. 101, we'll take that. That's a great score. Going to be a huge cash cow because of that as well. Same with Sherry, 120, huge cash cow. Brody, I didn't think he was doing overly much, but he was definitely involved. He was definitely a lot more involved, definitely a lot more time on the ground. He stands out a bit in the team. He's very easy to notice, in my opinion. It was He was doing really well. He looked like he was matched up on Steele a few times, so that's good because Steele's a ball. He's a huge pig. He's going to get the ball all the time, and Brody's great in the contest, and he's going to get those tackle points, so, yeah, cool. Cherry played R1, scored massive, looked awesome, 120 points. Amazing. Durbin didn't really do too much in his game. As I said, didn't really see it, but obviously 24 points tells us he didn't really do much, and the half the game I saw, once again, like McGovern, didn't really see him in it. He just wasn't there. But yeah, obviously we don't take his loop. If he scored amazing, we move Martin onto the field and we take the loop from that, but unnecessary in this case. Yeah, so that's the overall team, guys. That's how it went. What I want to go over is just obviously trades we're going to be looking at. So also captains for next week. Next week, let's see what we got here. I don't want any doggies. I think Sydney might get over them. Melbourne could be good into Essendon, but I don't own any of those players. Let's see what we've got here. Oh, Neale into North. Wow. Neale into North. That seems way too good to pass up. Way too good. Oh, man. So he's got to be the captain here because I can't see anyone that's going to be a vice. I don't have any good Carlton players. Hawthorn, St Kilda, Richmond, West Coast, or Freo players that I'm going to put the C on. So he's got to take the C. Meaning the VC, I think, ends up on Miller at this stage. What's McRae's record into Sydney in the past? 160. Yeah, not a good score. Sydney are usually really good at keeping Supercoach points down, so yeah, don't really want to play anyone into Sydney. Miller into GWS. I think he could go really well. Yeah, 143 last time against him. That's a good score. Obviously, that's a one-off, but that was his last year where he's looking much better, so I think that's all we go for. I think we go for the Miller V into the Neale C, but it's very hard to not just take that Neale straight C. Like, oh man, Neale into North. That screams a 140 at least. Let's see. Oh my god, look at that history. Even his badge year, a 156. You'd think, yeah, I'm thinking a 140 at minimum. Miller's got to outperform a 140. Otherwise, it's just going on Neale. God, this is where you want Neale on the VC because you think there's no way anyone else outscores him, but I just have no other good options to go to. I don't know who else would have players to go to here. Maybe a steal into the Richmond depleted midfield. Maybe you could get away with that if you want to go for a C if this fails, but I just don't think this is going to fail. I think this is, you bank Neale, easy. I guess we'll put Took just in case. But yeah, there's our C option. Now, trades. Look, there's a lot of good players to bring in. Obviously, Owens is getting out of my team. What I'm thinking we're looking at is break-evens here. That's what we want. Rochelle has crazy break-even. Horn Francis, Naish. God, I mean, obviously these two are going to hold their position, so they're much better rookies to have. Naish may not hold his position, so good break-even, but might not be worth it. Don't want Newcomb, don't want Black. Oh, Cripps is break-even, but obviously we don't have the money to do that. That's no problem. I don't really have any cash. It's got to be a really cheap rookie, and I just don't have any of those. Hewitt, amazing break-even. Great if you started them. Obviously, I was a bit sad to miss that boat myself. McGuinness. The other thing is I do want Hayes as well. Obviously, I flipped Dixon to Hayes. That's just the very obvious one to do. Yeah, I think we keep Ward with what he did. I think at the end of the day, the only things I want to do is Owens isn't going to score any points, so we want him out of the team. We want someone that's actually going to make some cash for us. He's not going to play again. We want Hayes in the team. Yes, Dixon will probably play. What's the break-even here? Only 11 on Durbin. It's minus 11, though. And I like his job security. I like the way he plays the game. It's unlucky, but it's okay. McGovern actually has a really terrible break-even after that last game. I don't know if I move McGovern on. I think his role's good and he'll probably still make some points. He could go down to a Rochelle, though, which would give us the cash. Rochelle, flick Rochelle mid, and then I bring Hayes into the forward. Oh, man. Mead actually got onto that game pretty early. He wasn't a medical sub, but got on pretty early, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I don't know if I'm scrolling any lower than this. Everyone lower than this you don't want. But I don't even want that. You want guys at least in the minuses. Yeah, I mean, McGovern might end up being a slow burn for us at his price. Can he keep putting out 60s? 60s aren't really enough. He's got to kind of put out 70s to 80s. Downgrade him to Rochelle. Rochelle is an amazing break-even. He's going to make us the most cash. He's probably got the best job security. Him and Horn Francis both have amazing job security. Well, that's the other thing too. I could do this and technically flick Horn Francis or Rochelle into the mid. I think we have to take Hayes here. He's too good to pass up. Look, we've hit most of them at the end of the day. Yeah, Ginevin obviously had an amazing game too, but I don't know if I'd back him. I think Rochelle is more of the go-to. So yeah, I mean, look at this. We have 4 of them here. We have Sherry, Martin, McCartan, Stevens. Yeah, I guess we miss Horn Francis there. We have Will Brody though. McQuarrie, I don't think anyone really would have started. Nobody would have expected him to go so big. Dacos, Connor McDonald. Willie Rioli was an option, but I didn't. He actually looked really bad when we saw him in the practice games. Look, talking too much about these guys. At the end of the day, I'm just going to make decisions. And I think we'll go Jack Hayes at the end of the day. We want him in. I can loop him and Nick Martin on... No, I can't loop anyone. I've got to just sort of play Nick Martin or Hayes on field, which isn't too bad. And then that means we pick up Rochelle in the mid. Yeah, we end up floating 90k. But that's really not too bad. This way we end up with no dead rookies. Yeah, everyone's playing. All these players are going to play. Even Dixon, he might move out actually because of Darling coming back earlier than expected. But Allen is still out, and they do love the 3 talls. And Dixon didn't look terrible in his first game. Yeah, I think this is good though. Worst case scenario, we maybe end up with Dixon being a bit of a dead rookie. But if we play it the other way, Owens is a dead rookie and we have no one to go to, so we're going dead rookie to another dead rookie. McGovern, he might actually be a dead mid-pricer. I hate moving out of the team. I really like his role, and I think I like his job security. At the end of the day, also a man that's made of glass, so he was going to be in our team for a short time. We're going to get him out. It really sucks to fall back to this, but I think this is the best option. We flick, like, Hayes is a must-have. You must have him. And Rochelle isn't a must-have, but with that kind of job security and Owens being a dead rookie, I don't think there's a better option to go to than Rochelle. So this way, who's playing who? What are we going to play in? I think Hayes actually on field doesn't look too bad. Martin might not be too bad, but we'll chuck the emergency on Martin at the end of the day. We'll see how that goes. We'll chuck it on Dixon for one random worst case scenario. Rochelle plays early. Stevenson actually... doesn't matter though. I don't have a loop, so I've just got to play the best ones on field. Look, he's playing in the Bulldogs, so I think I'll take the risk with Rochelle at the end of the day. Yeah, I think Ward's due for a good game though. Yeah, a bit of a hard one. Adelaide usually get run over by Port, and Rochelle's going to rely on goals to really boost his score, so he might not get there. Look, DeConning, yeah, DeConning's fine. Him and Gigkus aren't going to score well either way. We've got our 6 on the field. This doesn't look too bad. This doesn't look too bad. Yeah, I think that may be the risk we take. I think this is probably the best setup for our team. Yeah, 2 trades early. That's fine. 33 left. We already got the 5 extra to the start. And this way, as I said, no dead rookies on the field. The team looks good. Break-evens look good. They're all going to make money. They're all in the bubble. The only ones not in the bubble are Nick Martin and Dixon, but that's fine. COVID happens. It means that they probably won't be getting COVID anytime soon, so they will be playing in the foreseeable future. So, yeah, we'll take that. Obviously, if I reverse it, I reverse it, but I think those were all the good rookies to be looking at, guys. Yeah, we really, obviously, in defense, you don't really have many, but I think Rochelle is someone that you have to try and get in if you can. Not a have to, but, like, if you have Owens, there's not really, like, there's nobody good to go to at Owens' price. You don't want any of those other 117k rookies unless you didn't start McDonald. If you didn't start McDonald, please get him in. He is looking good. His job is looking secure. Outside of that, though, I think, yeah, there's not really any other good ones to go to. So Rochelle's maybe one to fall on. Maybe I could have fallen to Horn Francis. I didn't even see how Horn Francis went this week, actually. Let's just type it in. I want to see how the man went. Horn Francis, how did you go this week? Oh, we got a 98. Oh, That's actually pretty nice. A 98 and a 75. I wasn't too sure, but though that was in a win for North. I mean, look, no offense, but I think they probably had two of the easier games. Then again, what am I really banking on? Oh, sorry, excuse me, guys. 1 second. Sorry about that. But yeah, I mean, look, this has obviously dragged on a lot longer than expected. I'm just really trying to process through my mind here. I guess at the end of the day, I'm playing Rochelle, who's relying on goals to score. Horn Francis is going to have just as good job security, but probably going to be able to score outside of goals. So maybe I reverse this. Maybe I put in Horn Francis instead of Rochelle. It does feel a bit silly that I didn't start Horn Francis, I guess, at the end of the day. It does feel bad, I guess. To not start him and then have to bring him in later. I thought he was going to be someone that I could pod against. Not have to worry about him. But it looks like that might be the best option, actually. Yeah, and then I can play Horn Francis on field, and I feel good about that. I feel a lot better than Rochelle. Yeah, I guess if you did what I did and you didn't start him, you've got to get Owens out of your team. Rochelle, him, Dacos. They're good ones to go up to. McDonald, if you can make the switch to him. Stevens. Ward's not as much of a need one. Hayes, need him in your team. Honestly, he's going to be the biggest cash cow there is. Assuming Ryder, even if Ryder gets named, if Hayes still gets named with him, amazing. Play him. He's going to make a lot of money real quickly. Yeah, he'll easily make you that 150k, if not more. So yeah, get those guys in. Nick Martin, obviously not on the bubble. Dixon, not on the bubble. Anyone that's not on the bubble that's only played one game, don't worry about them. You have another week to get them in if you really want. But yeah, definitely try and get those guys on the bubble with that crazy good break even. But also, good job security, good roles, players that can actually back up that break even. I don't think McQuarrie and Ginnivan will actually be able to do that, especially into the Cats. They really rely on kicking goals, and they kicked a lot this week, so I don't think they're going to be doing too crazy of that in the future. Might maybe make you 100k, but not worth it. But yeah, there's the team review, guys. I've rambled on too long. I need to let you all go. Yeah, had a lot of fun this week. Look forward to next week. And honestly, team progression, I'm really keen to try and push into. I'm hoping top 1,000 next week. We'll see how we go. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. Peace. Later. I love y'all.